Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel where everything is about cars, motors, wheels, and pretty much anything that I like. So I'm back here with the ZR2 today, and today we're going to be putting on the DiamondBack bed cover. So this bed cover, I actually saw it from Last Line of Defense for his taco, and I decided that's a pretty cool bed cover. I don't really, not a big fan of the soft covers or anything like that, so decided to go with this. And also in my previous video I talked about how there's not all that much room in the truck, and we like to pack a lot of things in the truck, and I can't put the back seats down because we have a kid. So now we can put all of our stuff in under the bed cover, go out on trips even when it's raining or whatever, and save on space, and also be able to keep all of our things dry. I do have some plans for the bed of the truck, but that's not going to come until a little bit later. So in the meantime, bed cover, here we go. Alright guys, so this is the box that the bed cover comes in. This is actually the box that you guys saw the other day in the first video. And I just have it strapped in here. I've had it strapped in here for a while because I was waiting on the SD card for this camera. So we're gonna go ahead and get this unstrapped and open her up. I'll see you guys then.
Alright guys, so I don't really know what happened here, but my GoPro somehow ended up recording in time-lapse mode. So until we get to the clips where I start recording with the phone, I'm just going to be doing a voiceover. Right now we're just digging into this box, just pulling everything apart, separating everything so that we can get to the installation process. I'll see you guys then. Alright, within the box there's going to be another box that says start here. Go ahead and open this up. That's where your instructions are going to be and all your miscellaneous bits and pieces that you're going to need. So the first step in the instructions is to put the center piece in the center of the tailgate, cheat it a little bit towards this tailgate. But the cool thing is that on the bottom side of this piece and all the other panels is that there's a sticker on the bottom side that tells you which way that the panel goes. And then next up, I'm going to pick up this tailgate panel, and you're going to hold it 90 degrees and just slip it right on, and boom, it just pops right in. Super easy, and it's super light. You can see how I'm manhandling the rear portion and the front portion, and now I'm standing on the cover to place the front portion on there. And once you get the bed cover on, you're going to want to go back and forth and try to center it up the best that you can. I actually end up using a tape measure just to try to get it centered. You really don't need to do that. I ended up moving it a lot anyways, so that was kind of pointless. One thing that I will say is that I did end up having it a little bit too far forward, so the front panel, whenever I tried to open it, actually hit the back glass, so I had to take it apart and and then pull the panels back. So now I'm pulling out the clamps, and the instructions are pretty good, but the only thing that I would say is the pictures itself were kind of confusing and the wind was blowing my stuff everywhere. Typical Colorado wind. So I actually spent quite a bit of time looking at this and trying to figure out exactly what to do, and I actually put the clamps on in the wrong spot multiple times. So we're gonna fast forward to the part where I actually figure out what the heck I'm doing, and then I'll fill you guys in. Alright, so right here, I thought I had the clamps in the right spot, but I actually didn't. I got the bright idea to try to open the panels and realized that they wouldn't open. So turns out you actually have to put the clamp in the middle of these two beams on the centerpiece so that the panels can open properly. And then this bolt, it's a 9/16 bolt, but I used a 14mm socket because I didn't have a 9/16 socket. And then so right here, I couldn't quite figure out why the locking rods wouldn't line up. It doesn't quite say anything about this in the instructions. So what I actually ended up having to do was, one, pull out the plugs for the holes in the tailgate, and then undo these bolt, or at least one bolt on each side for the rods. and then the rods will come down on the arm, and you can align everything, and then also loosen the set pin or the set screw on the rods, and then adjust everything and put it into the right place, which I go over now.
Alright guys, so my GoPro actually died, so we're on the phone now. But anyways, we're gonna take this edge piece right here, and we're gonna go in this hole right in here, and then you're gonna push it up as high as you can, and obviously you want to get it centered. There we go. Yep, just like that. Stick that bad boy on there, and that's how they're gonna end up looking. So now let's do it for this side. So got it on this side, got it on both sides. All right, so you take the included Allen key, come up here to these linkages, loosen them up. Oh, you probably don't want to actually take them out. Alright, so that should be plenty. So my only issue right now is that these bolts are both in there, and we need this to come down. I think I need to undo those bolts, or one of them. Yeah, undo one of those bolts, and then put them in the top so that they hang down. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. Alright guys, so I'm back, and I actually made this a lot harder than what it needed to be. Once I figured out what it is that I needed to do, it's actually pretty easy. So now if you see, I unlock it, it opens. Lock it, it doesn't open. So what I needed to do, I was right, I needed to take off one of those bolts on both sides, and they need to be in both of those slots, one in each slot. And then once you take one bolt out, then the arms will drop like how they are here, and then you can line it up with that hole. And then what I did, and then with the set screws right here, what I did is I set it to where this rod barely misses the edge of the truck. And then on this side too, this side has a little bit more room, but it's okay. And then you want to lock it into place. And then when you lock it into place, this position's locked, this position's unlocked. So when you lock it into place, then you go in here and you tighten those bolts down, and that's exactly where it needs to be. Boom. And now it's locked. So now I'm gonna go do the same thing for the other side, and that should be it. All right guys, so it's all complete now. I will say that doing the cab end is so much harder than doing the tailgate end, because you gotta climb under there. And this end, you can push it down, get it. Can't really do that unless you have somebody helping you, like sitting on it or whatever, because you want this weather strip to be squished. And you can see up here, it's not so squished as it is back there. And then yeah, so I did pretty much exactly the same thing that I did in the back to the front. Only thing is that once I got done with that, super simple. You take this air strut, you clip it there, and then you clip it there, and then on the front, it's pretty cold out here now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go inside. On the front, you have this catch arm right here. It's gonna hang down and it's gonna slip over this nut. So you're gonna pull this down just a little bit, slip this on, and then pull it up, and it'll snap into place. And what that does is, just in case if anything happens, it won't let it open any further than this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I also have the cleats here, and this weather stripping that I'm gonna put on later at a later time, because like I said, it's pretty cold out here now. So yeah, you just close her up, and I did it pretty tight, so you gotta really muscle it, which isn't a bad thing because it'll make sure that it's nice and sealed against the elements. The front, like I said, I couldn't pull it as tight, so it's not as hard. You don't have to muscle it as much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And let me just go ahead and throw this stuff in here. I'm gonna take the paperwork with me, and let's see how she closes up. Oh Lord! Almost lost to check up in here, make sure there's nothing else left in there. Boom. And I mean, it does drag a little bit, but you know there's a good seal. There you go. You have a locked hard cover, hard bed cover. 45 minutes, I don't think so, unless you absolutely know what you're doing. The directions are good, but the pictures are a little confusing. So you have to kind of go back and forth if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you can probably get this done in 30 minutes, honestly. But yeah, so far, I mean, I know I just installed it, but I love the way it looks, and I love the way it functions, and I can't wait to use it.